Hello all my beautiful sisters from those other misters. Welcome back to my channel. Today I am doing a video discussing NARS Limited Edition products. So I quite like NARS products. I really love Laguna. I quite like their other coloured face products like highlighters and blushes. I think the formula is quite nice. Not a massive fan of Orgasm, although it's a cult product, I suppose. Although I don't really think it's a cult product anymore. I think NARS is quite mainstream, which makes all of their products quite mainstream. And the kitten is coming in to have a chit chat. What you doing? Is that right? Hi! NARS lip products are probably like my fave genre of products from their range. I am not a super mega fan of their base products. I do like their powders, but things like primers and foundations, I haven't used any that have wowed me, but it's my least used product from their ranges. So yeah, coloured face products and lip products are my faves. Eyeshadows, can you stop doing that to my carpet please? Eyeshadows I have only actually started liking in more recent times. So I picked up one of the palettes I'll show you today. It was a Man Ray palette that I picked up last holiday season. Really surprised me. I liked the quality, and then this year I bought another eyeshadow palette and it completely exceeded my expectations. So I thought I would go through what I've got and talk about them. So let's start at the start. This is where my NARS Limited Edition packaging love started, and it was with the Stephen Klein collection. So I picked up two items from this collection. This one is a One Shocking Moment face palette, and this one is a Dead of Summer eyeshadow palette. So the One Shocking Moment palette, you can see there it's coloured face palette. You've got Laguna, which is huge, and I love this product, which is great, love it. And then you have the Paloma Duo. So the Paloma Duo is essentially a matte bronzer and a highlighting powder. And then we have 4 blushes. So I think it goes, yeah, I think this is right. So Robotic, Blasphemy, Luster, and Dolce Vita. So it's a pretty palette. I quite like the blush shades in this. The only one that's I'm not a massive fan of is this one, Robotic. It's a bit too pink for me, and when we're getting into that spectrum of pink, I'm not a massive fan. But this like coral sort of orangey blush, I love it, and it's got a really nice sheen to it, so it's kind of like a highlighting blush. But this collection dates all the way back to 2015. The packaging is, oh, it's everything. I fucking love it. And if you're not familiar with who Stephen Klein is, he is a photographer, which makes sense why we have beautiful packaging like that. Then there was the Dead of Summer eyeshadow palette, and this was the biggest disappointment for me. Beautiful colors, but my god, the quality of these shades. I should take that pencil out. That shouldn't even be in there. I never pick this palette up because it's just, I don't like the quality of these eyeshadows. These are dual intensity eyeshadows, so you're supposed to be able to use them wet and dry. You can use any eyeshadows wet and dry. But yeah, they just, I felt like they swatched all right. I mean, you can see those dark shades, they're really nice. And I do like the 2 lighter shades. They're very, like, they're pretty colors. They're just light in color, but they do not go on the eye like that. No, sorry, they do not. I was so unimpressed with the formula when I actually put it on my face that I was just, no, not impressed. But I won't get rid of it because that packaging kills me. Then we move into 2016 when NARS did another collaboration with another photographer, Sarah Moon. And this packaging again is stunning. It has like a perspex over the top, but it's matte. And it makes everything look dreamy and magical. The packaging, man. I just can't help myself with NARS stuff. Inside, we have a palette that I have never used. There was a lip pencil in there. Whoops. And the reason I've never used this, you can probably tell, I've got all pink blushes. So there is Albatross in here, which is beautiful, and I have actually used Albatross. I like that, but the blushes, I've never used them. We've got Sex Appeal, Elusive, and Make Believe. Maybe I should try and use these. That one's not too bad. But I bought this solely for the packaging, and yes, I know that sounds really crazy, but look, I don't claim to be the most sane person. The last item that I picked up from the Sarah Moon collection was something that, like, I don't know, it really ingrained my love of NARS Limited Edition products. And every year, like, these usually come out towards the holiday season. I pray that he will do something similar to this. Or it doesn't have to be just like this, but, like, you know, very artistic and beautiful. It is the Sarah Moon Audacious Lipstick Coffret. So this is a box with a Perspex lid, and on the back of the lid there are lips, and it's been given a matte finish, so that's why it looks like that at the front. There is like a little thing under here, and like a photography image, and then inside there are 8 mini Audacious lipsticks. And I do use these, but I keep them in here because, one, I don't have space to store lipsticks in my storage drawers, and 2, I actually get a lot of joy of, like, opening this and pulling out a lipstick to use it. I just love this. I freaking love it. And if I ever finish up all of those lipsticks, or I decide that the lipsticks are so old that I have to get rid of them because they smell bad, I will probably use this to store jewelry. It is stunning and I adore it. Moving into 2017, there was a mid-year collection that had limited edition packaging from NARS, and I picked up a palette. This is the Angel Pride Cheek Palette. So you can see that image there. It looks like it's meant to be one of those images that, like, moves and adjusts, and they've caught it, like, right in the middle of the, like, the image change. But it doesn't change. That's just the image of the packaging. This one, this is actually really terrible because it looks very much like the Stephen Klein one. There's Laguna in here, which I love, and this is Hot Sand. The blushes are all called Angel Pride. It's Angel Pride 1, 2, 3, and 4. So if we look at this one and we compare it to Stephen Klein, you can see there's a lot of similarities, and I think this is probably the saddest thing with NARS cheek palettes. When it comes to the blushes, they often look the same as, like, past palettes, which is a shame because, I don't know, these are the sort of things that I want to buy, like, every time they release them, but it's very difficult to justify it when you've got 2 that are almost identical and you've got 1 that you don't use, and then all of a sudden it's like, well, how do I justify this? Because essentially all I'm doing is paying money to, like, put something in my stash that I won't be able to use, or I'll rarely use. So that's a shame, but can't help myself, got to buy them all. To finish up 2017, NARS released a holiday collection that was inspired by the artist Man Ray. Man Ray was very popular in his time, around the 1920s, and the collection was simple but beautiful. And I started by purchasing 2 items from that collection. I picked up the Love Game eyeshadow palette. So again, this just has like a clear perspex case with an image underneath. So this is a 12 pan eyeshadow palette, and when I purchased this, I ummed and ahed over it because I was mostly purchasing it because I wanted this particular piece of packaging. And I did know that I'm being ridiculous for buying something just for the packaging. It's not really a smart move, but I had to have it, and I thought, fuck it, I'm gonna take a risk on it. We'll see how it goes. When I tried the eyeshadows on my eyes, that's when I had that moment where I'd realized that NARS eyeshadow palette, like the formula, had improved since the Klein collection that I tried in 2015, and I was pretty excited about that. So this turned out to be one of those purchases that I never regretted, and I have used it quite a bit since I purchased it. So that was a nice little gem. Another one that I picked up from the Man Ray collection was the Veil Cheek Palette. So I wasn't super duper drawn to this packaging. I like the image, but I wasn't as drawn to it as the Man Ray one. Why you take so long to focus, camera? Inside we've got Laguna, Lovesick, and Surreal highlighter. Now, Surreal highlighter, it's a little bit too dark for me for most of the year. In summer, when I've got a really deep tan, if that happens, then I can wear this. But what really got me about this palette was the Lovesick blush. I know it looks crazy. This is a palette that is designed for women of color. It is not designed for my white ass, but I'm just going to tell you right now that bright coral red blush is so beautiful. It is so fucking beautiful. I can wear it and it looks gorgeous. And if I wasn't already wearing too much fucking Love Flush blush from fucking Too Faced, I would put it on my face. But this one also turned out to be it was better than I expected. When I swatched it in store and I was like, oh, this makes me tingle, I have to buy it, I was concerned that I wouldn't be able to use it. But when I actually got it home and tried it, I was not disappointed. Laguna is fine, I can use that, it's one of my faves. And the Lovesick blush, perfect, it's perfection. So after purchasing those 2 Man Ray products and just having them totally exceed my expectations, I was really smitten with that Man Ray collection. I was just like, wow, I loved it. It really impressed me. And I had 2 items that I wanted, but I was trying to be good and not purchase them. And then I broke and I purchased them, and I'm so glad I did. These are the lipstick Coffrets from the Man Ray collection. I picked up both of them. And essentially what you have inside, so the packaging is a perspex dome. You take it off and inside there is the image, and the dome sort of magnifies and blows out the image just a little bit. So it's really cool. When you take the image away, inside there are 4 Audacious lipsticks. Again, I do use these, but I like to keep them in here because, like with the Sarah Moon one, I love the, like, I love the sort of the use of it, like opening up this little dome and pulling out a lipstick to use and putting it back in, putting the dome back in. It's just, I love it. Again, if I ever finish up those lipsticks, which I should, NARS Audacious lipsticks, they're fantastic. There's no reason for me not to focus on them and use them. They're only minis, you know, you go through them fairly quickly. I'm going to use those for like storing little knickknacks, maybe hair ties and hair clips or something like that. Then we move into 2018, and I'm about to show you a product that I didn't actually purchase. I received in PR. This is the Danger Control eyeshadow palette. So inside, look, the packaging on this, I would never have purchased it because I don't think it's anything special. It's just, it's whatever. Inside there are 6 eyeshadows, and these are like, you know, sparkly duochromes, like they're pretty. And I don't mind the formula of these, but I don't think it's great. And I do feel like if I look at Man Ray and I go to this, there's a decrease. But I am going to show you something else where I feel like the bar was brought up again. So this is probably, if I'm talking about this, everything here, this is my least favorite limited edition packaging item from NARS. Simply because the packaging doesn't really do it for me and the contents aren't top notch. But I'll never get rid of it because it's NARS limited edition packaging. Finally, we come to NARS most recent limited edition collection. It is their holiday 2018 collection, and I received one product in PR, and this was a product that I wanted but I would never have purchased. It is the Little Fetishes collector's set in Laguna and Fort de France. So inside here was a mini Laguna and a mini Fort de France, and essentially it is just a plastic studded case. It's very cute. I wouldn't have purchased it because I've got a bunch of mini Lagunas, which I do love having for travel. They're fantastic, but I didn't need another one, and I also have way too many highlighters, so I wouldn't have purchased it for Fort de France, but Mecca sent it to us and I snagged it. I was like, fucking give it to me. Packaging is so damn cute. So pretty much all of NARS's holiday collection had this sort of studded feel. It was based around like a punk fashion, like that was the vibe they were going for. And there was one item that I knew I wanted. I'll start with that one. It is the Studded Audacious lipstick in Sheena. This is a nude shade, and you might be able to see the studding on this lipstick. It is so cool. I freaking love it. And the color is beautiful. So I think the only way this could have been better is if they somehow had the studding on the outside of the packaging, but the packaging itself is different to their standard Audacious lipstick range. I also wanted a palette from the holiday collection, and they had lots of cheek palettes. I did not want any of them. I was not really, like, I couldn't do it. I couldn't do it again. I just don't want to buy highlighter and blush for, like, I don't know, a couple of years. I need to flush that out of my system. I've got so many of them and I know how long it takes to use them, and I don't want to buy stuff just because. But I was so desperate to have something from their holiday collection that was a palette because I wanted this packaging so badly. So this is studded packaging. You might be able to see there. It's got these sort of like geometric, it looks like the inside of a crystal, like, a geode when you break it open. This is a Prevocatuer eyeshadow palette, and I swatched this in store and I thought, okay, these are pretty colors and the formula looks okay. I thought to myself, I will never use this palette as a cohesive palette. There's one matte in there and it's like a terracotta old school brick red, and the rest are like metallics or shimmery shades. So I thought it's never going to be a cohesive palette for me, but they're like all of the colors individually are really beautiful, so I'll pick and choose. It'll be fine. I can justify this. And then I used it. I used a couple of shades in, like, I was doing sort of first impressions video. I used a couple of shades and then I was like, well, I've only got like 1 or 2 shades left to use, so I may as well use them. And the look I created, I loved it. It was so beautiful. The formula of the eyeshadows was so good. I was blown away, and the contents of this palette made me love it so much more. I'm so glad I got it. And oh, look, if NARS releases top-notch products that are super cohesive with amazing packaging like this, I can always justify buying them. If the quality of the contents is crap, it makes it more difficult for me to continue that love of NARS limited edition packaging, like collecting something from each collection. But yeah, it's so beautiful. If I had to choose some favorites, I would say my lip Coffrets are like right up there. They are just, they are so special to me. I adore them. And then these two. So the Veil Cheek palette and the Provocateur eyeshadow palette. I love these because I love the packaging. The packaging makes me happy and the contents are stunning. They're just so good. I love you both, my babies. So that's it for my NARS limited edition packaging collection. I'm sure I will add more to my collection throughout 2019. I can't resist. If, you know, sometimes they do limited edition collections where it just doesn't speak to me as much. You know, I can rein it in and be a little bit saner when it comes to, you know, just letting that collection sell out and get on with my life. But when they get me with stuff like this, gotta do it. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, give it a thumbs up, and feel free to let me know down in the comments if you have any NARS limited edition packaging items that you absolutely love or that really disappointed you, like the inside. Were you like, yeah, nah, this isn't it? Let me know. Leave your comments down below and I will see you in the next one. Bye.